Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about something you may never have heard of, or maybe you know all about. We're going to call it a picanha. Are you ready? The picanha is a cut of meat that you may or may not be familiar with. Maybe you've heard of it called a rump cap or a sirloin cap. Maybe one of those words are familiar to you. However, we call it the picanha, and it is the top portion of the sirloin or the rump portion of the sirloin. And it is very tender because it's part of the sirloin. And just to remind you, the sirloin is part of the steak portion of the animal, so it doesn't have a muscle. The muscle structure is such that it's not being used so much that it stays very tender. So this is what the picanha looks like, and this comes right off the animal, and I'm just going to trim it lightly because it doesn't need a whole lot of trimming to it as it is right now. It is laden with a little bit of fat on the bottom portion, and that's a good thing. And it has a little bit of a membrane that I don't like to take too much of off, but we're going to just trim that up a bit and leave a little bit of this fat on here. Just going to take that off, and then I'm going to flip it, and you're going to see a nice layer of fat cap, and this helps keep it nice and moist. And I'm just going to lightly trim this, turn it so that it's a little more convenient for me to work with. So this particular cut of meat is very popular in Brazil, or if you are fortunate enough to have a Brazilian steakhouse in your neighborhood or nearby. We've just gotten one or two that have become very popular. And this particular piece of meat is what they sell. And they sell it on like a skewer almost, more or less. And how they cut it, I learned, is something very interesting, because you would think that it would be cut thin. But what they do actually is they cut thick steaks, and then they put it on like a stick or a skewer, kebab kind of thing. And then, that was intelligent, but you know what I'm talking about. And they grill it, either direct or indirect heat, and high heat. And you want to make sure you cook it to about 135, because you don't want to overcook it. You want to make sure that it's nice and pink. And then from there, you cut it into smaller portions, and it's a very tender cut of meat, because again, it's from the sirloin. So here you have your picanha, or sirloin cap or rump cap. And as I mentioned in previous videos, we learn about different cuts of meat from different regions of the country or from the world, because they cut meat slightly differently than we do. And that's what makes it fun and exciting. So here you have your picanha. Okay. I hope that was a helpful little learning about a different cut of meat that you may or may not see in your local grocery store. You may absolutely have to go to a butcher shop or fresh meat market like Herman's. Haha, there you go. So give us a call and we can get one of these ready for you. And by the way, they range in size about 2.5 to 3 pounds or so. So it's not real big, but it is nice for company. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you've learned something new today. Thank you. My kitchen tip today I want to talk to you about is about being prepared, about having a pantry that is stocked. But it doesn't have to be stocked with a lot of bulk items. It's just having a little bit of everything so that you are ready. If you get a phone call and say, hey, you want to come for dinner tonight? Sure, what can I bring? Well, how about some vegetables and dip? No problem. How many are there going to be? 4 of us. You just need a small container of sour cream and some seasonings, and voila, you can have fresh vegetables and dip all ready to go. You don't have to go to the grocery store and try and figure out what to buy, because you already have in your refrigerator some carrots, celery, and cucumbers. That's part of being prepared. So what I want to just again reiterate, maybe you want to have some basics, some pasta, some rice, some other grains that you like, whether it's couscous or you choose. Have some so that, again, you're ready for whatever meal or recipe you decide you want to make today. How about some sauces? You want to have some tomato sauce, some gravy mix maybe, some chicken broth or turkey gravy in your refrigerator, in your freezer, or in your pantry. And again, they don't have to be large bulk size cans or jars. You can just have a small jar so that you can make a recipe without feeling like you have to cook for an army. Maybe some oils. Have a small container of olive oil, vegetable oil. Again, for the same purpose. Say you need to make a dessert in a hurry. You happen to have in your pantry a box mix of brownies or a cake mix. What does it call for? Eggs and olive oil and water. So guess what? In your refrigerator, you have your eggs because you're always prepared, and you have a small container of olive oil. What I like to do, or not olive oil, vegetable oil. I don't think you want to use olive oil if you're making a cake. But anyway, quick thought there. And as I use those items, I start a grocery list. I always keep a running grocery list handy so that, oh, I'm getting low on milk, or I'm getting low on eggs. I just use my last 3 eggs. Let me put it on my grocery list. And then you restock. You just always want to be one step ahead, but without, if you don't want to or need to buy in bulk. Seasonings are another item. Just keep them dry. Keep them in your counter cabinet with, dried or frozen. Or if you like to have fresh, you could even have a small plant of basil, parsley, dill, oregano, whatever you have in your garden, or if you have a window garden, perfect. Always keep them handy. And if before they go to seed, pick them and then either dry them or put them in your freezer, and then right there, they're ready to go. So just some ideas to help you kind of stay one step ahead when you're trying to prepare a recipe and you think to yourself, oh no, I have to go out to the grocery store to get X, Y, or Z. Nope, you already have it handy. Can you improvise? Of course you can. You can always improvise, always substitute something. You can look in a cookbook that has list of substitutions, or Google it, of course. However, if you're prepared, it makes it that much more simple. So I hope that was a helpful tip. Thank you. You don't have to go to a Brazilian steakhouse to cook a Brazilian meal. You can make your own picanha right in your own kitchen or in your own backyard grill. Just give Herman's a call, or another local meat market if you're not in our local area, and try it yourself. So I hope that was a helpful video, and you feel free to send me some comments, or if you've ever had any cooking experience with the picanha, or the rump cap as we call it, let me know. I'd love to hear from you and how you enjoy cooking it. And please remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Become part of the Herman family, please. Thank you.